Draymond in the last 24 hours has gone off. Just he started this whole entire thread of events, I believe, taking place between him and Jordan Poole's father, Anthony Poole, and now Kevin Garnett. Just like always, I feel Draymond Green is to blame for this whole entire mess. He just ignited all this. The reason why I feel like this is that Draymond started this shit when he went on Patrick Beverley's podcast to talk about the Jordan Poole punch again during one of the segments. Just he felt he had to justify by saying, well, I'm paraphrasing what he said. He basically said like, well, I wouldn't normally hit someone unless they said something that was just out of place, just not justifiable, which I thought is stupid and is one of the many reasons I don't respect Draymond, because the man's a hypocrite. He's a bully. He's a bully that can diss it, but he can't take it. And when I say this is that he says a lot of foul, disgusting stuff on the court that goes beyond basketball. Beyond basketball, he's willing to do that. And I get it. It's part of the game when it comes to trash talk. Anything goes. There's no code of conduct or any etiquettes that are in play. I meant to say ethics that are in play for this. So I understand how the game is played when it comes to trash talk. Anything goes. That's just how it is. But with that being said, if you're going to play by those rules, then you got to be prepared for guys to say nasty stuff back to you that you don't like. The way I see it, if you can't handle it, then don't play this game. Stop doing it. But Draymond can't do that. So basically Draymond's rules is that I will talk shit to you. I will treat you like shit. I will treat you very poorly and say the nastiest things to you. But you cannot say anything back to me that could potentially hurt my feelings or offend me. That's like a childlike mentality. That's a bully-like mentality, which I can't stand. So, but I felt he set off all these events to happen just by talking about that punch and trying to justify it again. One thing I have to say, it shows how immature Draymond is. If he was mature, he's a grown man now. He's not some young guy. He looks old with his gray beard. He looks like he's like 40 when you look at him. The man is really aged. But if he was really acting his age, and if he was really mature, as a mature 33-year-old, he would have just said, when that question was asked about that punch, he would just said like, hey, I moved past it. I'm sorry for what I did, and I'm done with this. I don't want to talk about it anymore. That would be the best way to squash it. Or if he doesn't want to sound apologetic, he could just say like, hey, I've already rehashed this a bunch of times. I'm moved on. Jordan's moved on. We're no longer teammates. That would have been the appropriate, mature response to this. But he still had to be immature about it. And it's because of his ego. He's a narcissist and he can't admit he's wrong. So, but by still keeping this open, you're not just involving Jordan Poole, you're involving his family, his friends. I think people forget this, that these players are not just by themselves. When you attack them, you're attacking everybody around them that played a role in their lives. So you got to factor that in. Now, will I say this about Anthony Poole, his response? I'm not going to blame him for saying what he said. He's a father. I don't have kids, but if my kid was bullied, I would be overprotective. It's probably one of the main reasons I don't have kids, because I swear I would come after you if you went after my kids. I wouldn't stand for that stuff. So I'll say this, that I did think his reaction was too late. It should have happened a year ago, or whatever fatherly advice he gave Poole. I don't know what he told him how to deal with Draymond. It didn't work. It just didn't work. So that's one thing I'll say about that. But I don't blame Anthony Poole for responding. He called. So I'm going to read what he said. I'm going to read Draymond's response. So Anthony Poole said, I'm stand on this. That is some bullshit. JP was his guy, and he avoided me all last year. He is a soft ass bitch, and I'm standing on this, and he didn't apologize to me and my wife. So he lame, and me and him can meet anytime he want. So I gotta admit that grammar was horrible. Not trying to be the grammar police, but he should have wrote it out better, because people are definitely gonna point that out to dismiss his credibility in this spat. But I don't blame him for that. And let's read Draymond's response to him. What did he say? I just wanna read it. Just let me pull it up. I'm gonna look for it right now. Okay. So I'm trying to find it. Just it was some response. Okay, yeah, I got it now. I got the response. So this is what Draymond Green said. That's so cute. It's impossible to avoid you in an arena for a year, champ. I got my family from that family room every game. And stop using those words. They usually don't go over well amongst men. And I have to say, this shows again, Draymond's a hypocrite. He's called guys out. He's called guys by that name so many times. He's called Kevin Garnett a bitch. He's called other guys a bitch. I've even heard him say it during a game once where they didn't bleep it out. Just he's done it so many times. He's disrespected other people. But then again, in Draymond's world, only he gets to disrespect people. You're not allowed to disrespect him, but he's allowed to disrespect you, which to me is a bunch of BS. This is why I don't respect this guy. Like he can diss it, but he can't take it. It just works both ways. That's what I'd say about that. But it's another childish response by Draymond right there. One thing I have to ask is, why is Draymond just bringing this up consistently again and again and again now with Jordan Poole being gone? To me, it doesn't make any sense that he brings it up. You know, when you fight with two men, when they fight against each other, once it's over, it should be gone. You live your life, the other man lives his life, and that's the way it should be. But Draymond is not willing to let it go. So when you're not willing to let it go, it tells me that you're a very hateful person, that you're very hateful. You're trying to inflict as much pain and suffering on the person you're doing it to, on the victim, which is Jordan Poole. And I say this because Jordan Poole has been willing to move on. He hasn't said anything about Draymond when asked. He hasn't said anything about the Warriors. He's tried to not talk about it. He's been dead silent about it. So I don't get that, other than Draymond has a lot of hatred for Jordan Poole. He wants to just do everything possible to hurt him. Just I don't get why that is. I don't know if the words that Jordan Poole said to him were that hurtful, because Draymond has said stuff that's equally as bad. But the only thing I can think of is that when people are still coming at you, even after you've already fought with them, that there's a great degree of jealousy and envy. Who knows? Maybe Draymond has that for Jordan Poole, because I don't get it. Just you punched out that man. The whole entire world was able to see it. You were able to clown him a bunch of times and you got away with it. Allegedly, you had that confrontation with him in the locker room a month or two into the season where you got to put him down. It just shows to me that there's just intense hatred. Like, you really want to see this man suffer, just see this man just perish. Just, I'm not going to say that word on YouTube, but you really want to see this man get deleted. Just, that's really your goal, which shows that you're a sick person, because you're not leaving it to just being off the court and settled. You're not willing to let it go away. So I definitely don't respect Draymond. I think he's a clown. But now let's bring up the Kevin Garnett situation, where this shows you what an idiot Derek Draymond is. This guy is so stupid. He got tricked by a fake account that was on this website called NBA Central, which I can see why people have been tricked by. I got tricked by it once too last week. It looks very similar to the NBA Central Twitter account, which is legit. It's a legit source, but NBA Central basically has the same logo as NBA Central, and the name looks very similar, and they make up a lot of fake tweets just to rile up people. So allegedly, they had this tweet come out, which was fake, in which they claimed Kevin Garnett said, Draymond punching JP is like a senior punching freshman who's half his size, and then walks around taking himself up as if he's like that, come try me, Dre. So that's what the quote was. So basically the quote was saying that Kevin Garnett called Draymond a coward and challenged him to, a fight or whatever. So here was Draymond Green's response. I tried you when I was a rookie, KG, and you started talking to yourself like I wasn't talking to you. What's that like? The freshman picking on a senior citizen that's double his size. So he tagged Garnett's real account, which shows you that he's really that stupid. He didn't double check to verify. You gotta double check to verify, I would say, when you respond to someone, make sure it's really them. So that just shows you how simple-minded and just dumb he is. Just he's trying to go off on anybody that just that he perceives to be a threat to him, I believe. So it just shows you how he's out of control. He's a dumb guy. Just he's obviously with the Warriors still because he's Curry's bodyguard. That's the only reason they kept him, simply for that reason. He's a dirty, despicable person who I wish for the worst to happen to him, to be honest. I just don't respect him as a basketball player, just or as a person. So that's all I have to say about him.